In this video, we're going to do a quick review of straight line depreciation. Let's just have a look at the formula first and then we'll go through the basis for it. So the formula is given as S equals V naught minus D times N, where S is a salvage value. It's called salvage because sort of you're salvaging what's left of the value of the item. So that really means just whatever the value of the item is at that point in time after after value has been lost through depreciation. V naught here, okay, this is the initial value of the asset, so it could be the brand new price of the asset, or it could even be an asset that's bought secondhand, but it's the value of the asset from when it's bought. D is the depreciation per period. Now, normally it's per annum or per year, but not always. So we've just got to be very careful that we don't fall into the trap of thinking that the time period we're talking about is always yearly. It's not necessarily yearly. It could actually be monthly as well, could be weekly. But for depreciation, monthly or yearly tend to be the two most common time periods. And N is the number of time periods. So it's a bit like simple interest or compound interest. Sort of the interest rate is an interest rate per period. N is the number of periods. Okay, so just be careful that we don't fall into the per annum trap. Let's have a look at a quick example. So example 1, computer equipment is purchased for $29,000 and depreciates by $5,500 each year. Find, so part A, is the value of the equipment after 4 years. So just think of it this way. When you first buy the equipment, or when this equipment's first bought, it's $29,000. Each year it's losing $5,500. So it's a constant amount that's lost each year. So after 2 years, it would have lost $11,000. After 4 years, it would have lost $22,000. So you could actually work it out intuitively, in fact. So it's kind of, not saying that you don't need the formula, but you can almost come up with the formula on your own, just thinking about this constant loss of value. It's different to declining balance, and I haven't talked about that yet. But anyways, let's use the formula here. So we got S is equal to, now the original price. Okay, so it's 29,000. So we're going to take away the number of years of depreciation. So it's depreciating at $5,500 per year, and there's 4 years worth of that. Okay, so that will be, okay, so 29,000 minus, okay, $5,500 per year, and we've got 4 years worth of that depreciation. So it's going to be worth $7,000. Okay, after 4 years. Okay, let's have a look at part B. So when, to the nearest month, the equipment will be worth $11,300. So let's use the formula again. So the salvage value is $11,300. So that's the value of the computer equipment at some point in time. That's what we're trying to find, is the point in time. It was purchased for $29,000. Okay, we know that it's depreciating at $5,500 per year. Okay, and N is the number of years. Okay, but we need to enter the nearest month, so that's sort of another layer of complexity we sort of need to contend with there. So usually that's can be worth a mark, of course. So all right, so let's solve that. Okay, so moving the $29,000 over. Okay, so hopefully I'll have a bit of enough space here. So 11,300 minus 29,000, okay, is equal to negative 5,500 N. Okay, so I would have gone into the next line there, but 11,300 minus 29,000. Okay, we got negative 17,700. Is equal to negative 5,500 times N. Okay, so N is equal to, so we're going to divide the negative 17,700 by the negative 5,500. Two negatives when divided will give you a positive, so that's nice. Obviously, you want N to be positive, doesn't make sense for it to be negative. Okay, so be negative 17,700 divided by negative 5,500. Okay. Divided by negative 5,500. And we get n equals 3.218. Okay, so 21818. Okay, and there's a few sort of repeats there. Okay, so what's that in years and months? So we know that's in 3 years. Okay, but it's 0.218181818, obviously of a year. Okay, so 0.21818181818. Okay, so if I keep it exact. Okay, that's of a year. If I multiply that by 12, we get 2.618 months. Okay, so that's going to be equal to 3 years. Okay, and 0.21818 times 12 months. Okay, and sorry, I'm just going to squeeze the answer just there. So that's going to be 3 years, and we just worked out there 2.6 months, so that's 3 months, in fact. Okay, so 3 years, 3 months. Part C, we're going to find when the equipment will have no value. Okay, so in other words, the salvage value is 0. In other words, it's worthless. So 0 is equal to 29,000. So that's the original price minus, okay, taking away the depreciation per year times the number of years. Of course, so we can move one side of this equation or one part of the equation over to the other side. In fact, I'm going to move the negative 5,500n over to the left-hand side, and that will conveniently make it a positive term. Is equal to 29,000. Yep. Okay. I'm going to make n the subject of the formula. Okay, so that's 29,000 divided by 5,500. Okay, so 29,000 divided by 5,500, and we get 5.2727. Okay, in fact, 5 3/11 if you wanted to convert it into fraction form, but there we go. So 5.2727 years. Okay. Maybe one more. And we need to convert that into maybe into years and months if we're going to convert it to the nearest month. Okay, so that's going to be 5 years. Okay, so that's the whole number part. But now we have the decimal part. We need to convert that into months. So we've got 0.272727 years. Converting that into months, we want to multiply that by 12. So that's going to be 0.27272727, so on, times 12. Okay, so 0.27. And we get 3.27 months. So we're actually going to round up, not round down, and there's a good reason for that. Okay, so that'll actually be 5 years and 4 months. Okay. So question then, why would I have rounded this answer up and not down? 5 years and 3 months exactly, would the equipment have some value? Let's check. This is just a little bit of a check there. Starting off with $29,000, that's the original price. If we then take away 5 years and 3 months worth of depreciation, so 5 years and 3 months, so that's going to be 5 years and 3 out of 12 months, we still get $125 left in value. That's not zero. The question is clearly asking when the equipment will have no value. So it's after the 4th month when even the little bit of value that the equipment has evaporates altogether, and then we end up with zero value. Okay, so just be careful with this one. And then lastly, we're going to graph the value of the asset over time. Now, it is straight line depreciation, so we would expect that we should end up with a straight line. Okay, graph that looks something like that. Okay, there's time. Okay, there's our salvage value. In fact, the time, we're going to use N, obviously, because that was what the formula, what we use for time there, for the formula. N is the number of time periods. Okay, obviously, use a ruler, of course, and graph it neatly. And we need to also set the intercepts as well. What do you think the y-intercept would represent here? Okay. That should be the initial value of the item, V0. So that's going to be 29,000. Okay. What about the x-intercept? Okay, the x-intercept should be the value of n where the equipment has no value. So this would be 5.2727, oops, 27, actually let me just fix that quickly. Okay, maybe I'll just leave it to two decimal places, 5.27 years. And that would be approximately where the equipment will have no value left. Okay, I might use some technology to graph this as well, just so you can see it probably a little bit neater. So I'm going to use my graphing calculator here. Okay, so let me just turn that on and get it into graph mode. So that's option 5. Yep, and I'm just going to clear that. Delete F1. Yep, I'll just delete that as well. So I had this from a previous video. And let's just type in our formula. So it's going to be 29,000 minus 5,500. Well, I don't have the letter X here, so I'm just going to, sorry, letter N. So I'm just going to use X. Okay. And then I'm going to draw that. Okay. And let's see what happens here. Okay. Just need to zoom out on that for a moment. Okay, here's the graph. So sorry about that. I just had to fix something on the calculator just to get the zoom right and the scale right. So there we go. So I'm just sort of panning around there. Okay, so we can see there's roughly 29,000 there, but you can sort of see there, and up to just after the 5-year mark. Okay, and that's where the salvage value is 0. Thanks for watching.